Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Juby here with Mossy Jaw Custom Baits. In here doing a little white lightning. Tying a little jig on. Some folks call them, excuse me, white ice. I like white lightning just because I like George Jones. So that's why I'm going to call it white lightning. And using a 1/8 ounce, 1/16 ounce pill head, I will use a silver prism 3D eye. I put those on after, just because that's just what I like to do with this particular color. Most of the time I'll put them on prior to, then let them just dry. With this color, I like waiting and putting the jig or the eyeball on afterwards. Just my preference. I'm using some white neck hackle feather, and I'll use 3 ends. And the only reason I'm using the 3 ends is because I want this to flare a little bit, if you will. I want it to catch a little bit more water. Normally with this setup, I'll use a split shot sinker instead of an egg weight. And again, the time of year that I use this particular setup is the winter time. I want a slower fall. I want to be able to get this jig down into the brush pile. Using a number, excuse me, a number 4 Victory sickle hook. Like those little hooks. This number 4 it's got enough, I guess, flimsiness to it that if I get stuck in a brush pile, I can pull it out. Just because I use an 8-pound leader on my braid. And I'll just bend the hook back. I know you can only do that so many times before you break your hook, but in a given day, it's not a big deal. Using some translucent flash, and usually I'm trying to get 3 strands. Sometimes I get a few more, and that's okay. The translucent tends to, it wants to wad up on you, so to speak. I guess if that's a term, I guess I could use. But it tends to do that a lot easier. Just because it's such a thinner diameter flash, it'll do that. And you can get those twists out. In fact, I'm just going to throw those 2 away and cut me some here. That seems to be the go-to for me here of late. With this, it's so thin, and try to keep it up on the back, on the top of the jig as best I can. And then I'll cut the length just a little bit shorter than my feathers. And then I'm using a Royal Milk in medium Chanel. It is a white with a metallic blue in it. This color, it has all the attributes that you like for a wintertime crappie jig. You got a little bit of the monkey milk, I guess, if you will, color with the blue. You get a little bit of that purple in that flash that will come out. So That's why I like this color in the wintertime. When I tie this, I like to go in front of the excess there and then go behind it. 2 times I'll wrap in front, go behind it, 1, 2, and a 3rd time, 1, 2. Let's lock that in pretty good. Give it 5 good tight wraps. A little bit of Sally on there. That just locks that thread in. And I'll whip finish a few times here. Using a 210 denier. You can hear my squeaking. I'm getting close to my end of my thread on this spool. I'll take that out. But when I take that out, now's when I put my eyeballs on. Again, these are Do It Molds 3D Silver Prism. Just a little dot of Loctite super glue, and it's the gel. And one more here. Again, this is White Lightning. Some people, again, call it Blue Ice. I like George Jones. Good looking color there, folks. Hey, I appreciate you following along here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell me what you think in the comments. Appreciate you guys.